What is going on, man? We in the building again. Another show, Rat Pack Sports Show, man. We live here. Rat Pack Radio WR. We on the live stream coming at you from the den. And we're going to keep this short and sweet. Just a little bit talking about the Buccaneers win here over the Carolina Panthers. And we're going to get right into it. We're going to get right into it. So, first of all, I want to just start off congratulating the winner of this game. And honestly, we don't know yet because the winner of this game hadn't really won yet because the division isn't locked up. So we're waiting on results from tomorrow's game between the Saints and the Falcons. And depending on what happened in that game is going to decide what exactly happens as far as the division and who makes the playoffs, who goes home, and ultimately in some sense, it may decide on jobs. But we're not gonna go there yet on the job situation. We just gonna, talk about the game at hand and go into it from that aspect. So, uh, Saturday night, Saturday afternoon game, you got playoff implications on the line. You got the division championship on the line, and it is exactly what the NFL wanted in week 17, week 18, however you want to chop it up to. And man, I'm gonna just say this. Last broadcast we did late last week, me, Boss Hall, Sean Naylor, William Graves, who was on the air, and I had some clips of it, so I'll probably go and find those clips and post those clips of me talking about the NFC South division as a whole compared to the rest of the league. And personally, I'm gonna just say this: we got the worst division in the NFL, and as a Bucs fan, I'm gonna just go out and say whoever end up winning this division is probably gonna get throttled in the first round of the playoffs because the rest of the conference is at a whole nother level when it comes to how they play football on both sides, in the trenches, in coverage, on defense, offensively, just how they manufacture, points, how they run their offenses, how explosive they are, disciplined, talented wise, just a lot better, football going on in the rest of the NFC. And it's no bad thing against. Well, it kind of is a bad thing, but at the same time, you just take it for what it's worth. It's what's the word I'm looking for? It is what it is. Just put it that way. So personally, from a Bucs fan standpoint, if we get in, I'm not ecstatic. I want to get into the dance and actually feel like, I got a chance or my team has a chance. And last year it felt better because we had a better season. We played better. The offense looked a lot better. Defense, I don't even know the defense. I'm gonna say they was a little bit better, but not really a whole lot better. But the offense last season was carrying us, and we felt good about the offense. If we got in a situation where we was gonna end up in a shootout, we felt like we can do that. This season it hasn't been the same way. We've had injuries, obviously, but it's the NFL, and at the end of the day, nobody cares about your injuries. You got to be able to bounce back from them. You got to be able to rebound and get up and make it work. So you got to be able to draft and develop, and you have to be able to build your franchise for the seasons. That means depth. And we like that. We like a whole lot of depth. And, I don't know what else, you know, it's one to be a fan, and then it's one to be just a blind fan and just think everything is rosy, everything is golden, and every game we got a chance to win. Yeah, you do. You do have a chance to win until you lace the cleats up and they blow the whistle and you kick the ball off and you realize you just don't have the players on your side of the field that the other team has. There's a lot of people that need to step up their play. And this is talking in terms of if we get another game. I feel like offensive line needs to be better, and I feel like the play calling needs to be better. In this game here in the first half, I'm not so sure what the offensive coordinator was doing because you got a downpour going on, torrential downpour going on, and you're throwing the ball like it's 85 degrees and sunny. And knowing, okay, if you're throwing all these passes in the wet weather, you take risk of the quarterback throwing wild errant passes. You take risks of receivers, dropping the ball and, the ball being deflected off of the hands and being picked off. And you saw all that in the first half. And it was like, let's try to run the ball. I mean, that's the type of game, and this is how you find out if your team is set up for January. This is how you find out if your team is set up for the playoffs. Because in the playoffs, it's gonna come down to who can out physical who. And if you can't line up and you can't smash somebody in the face and run it to them, and even though they know you running it, and even though they got the defense set up, the box stacked against you, you still line up and you drill the ball right down their throat. Hey, that's just how we do. That's just how we do, and that's how we gotta play football. That's championship football. That's winning football. In today's NFL, man, this passing league that we're in, we forget about how to win football games. We forget on how to just line up. Whatever happened to the power eye? We got all these teams. Everybody's running out of the same formation, the one back shotgun formation. No lead blocker, or you might have a receiver or somebody going in motion, and you got a receiver lead blocking instead of an actual fullback, or maybe an H-back tight end type of person that could come in and really lead the block. It was one play in the Bucs game, man. It was in the second half. It was in the second half, and the Bucs lined up and they ran the ball with, I want to say it was maybe Bucky Irving. Or maybe I think it was Rashad White. It was Rashad White. And they ran Chris Godwin in motion. And this is late in the game. You're trying to eat clock. You're trying to, do different things, trying to keep the clock moving and run the clock out. So they send Chris Godwin in motion. And Chris Godwin, who tough as nails wide receiver, physical, excellent excellent blocker as a wide receiver. I get it. But in a game like this, you send him in motion. Now, you know Chris Godwin, the injury history he's had and everything like that. You line him up, you send him in motion, and when he snapped the ball, he's the lead blocker. So you put him at risk of being rolled up on, his legs being rolled up on, and him possibly getting injured again when he just came back. Now you don't think about that stuff in the in the heat of the game. You don't think about that stuff in the heat of the game. But if you had an actual fullback as a lead blocker, you might be able to get that guy to blow it up. Just go through the hole, blow it up, knock down a couple people and get, 5 or 10 more extra yards because the power that he has on the lead block. The power eye is an old school formation. A team that runs that power eye and they do it at very effective. The 49ers still do it. Quarterback under center, fullback, tailback. And that's the best way to run the ball to me. all this cute stuff and everything, it's all good. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna be cute, you're gonna lose a game cute. So we fast forward to early in the fourth quarter, and I'm jumping around. Fast forward to early in the fourth quarter. 13-7 is the score. Carolina just had like two big plays. They're moving the ball down the field, and all of a sudden they get inside the 30-yard line. I mean, it's first down. It's first down. They get inside the first, 30-yard line, and they decide to run a trick play. They decide to run a trick play, and it looked like they was trying to run a flea flicker. Why? You just went downfield in like three plays and moved the ball pretty good. What's the point in giving the defense a break and running a flea flicker at that time of the game with the field conditions being what it was, and you pitch the ball back and the running back slips, and instead of the running back just take the ball down with you, and you live to see another play, and it's second down and 12 instead of turnover to the Bucs because you decided on your way down, I'm gonna still try to throw this ball back to the quarterback. It hadn't stopped raining, so the conditions was a little bit better at that time to throw the ball, but it's still a wet ball. It's still a wet field. Why would you run that play, man? Like right after that play happened, I say ball game. I'm in the Rat Pack Sports Show group with, William Graves and Boss Hogg and Nicholas Lane, and we talking as this game going on. So when that play happened, I say ball game. You just lost the game because you got cute. Then there was no need to get cute at that time. You had a whole quarter in front of you, and you could have cut the lead down to a field goal. I think it was 16-7. I think it was 16-7 at that point. Yeah. Or maybe it was 13, but still, either way, whether you get a field goal out of that possession or you get a touchdown out of that possession, it's a different ball game. And now, you right there. But instead, Carolina, Dave Canales decides to go trick play in that situation. Let's get cute. And the play blew up in their face. And, if you're fighting for a playoff spot, all Carolina had to do was win the game, and they was in. They didn't need anything else to happen because they would have been the lone wolf in the division. They would have had 9 wins. Nobody else in the division can get the 9 wins. So it was win and end. You got to be more, value your possessions more at that time of the game and understand the situation and give your team a chance. But doing something like that, there's too much wrong that can happen in that instance. That can derail everything, and the worst case scenario happened. The play ended up being blown up because your running back slipped, and from that point on, it's ball game. It's ball game. So, to the game itself, the first half was sloppy. Listen, these are two not good football teams. I mean, I'm gonna say the second half of the season, Carolina's actually played a lot better than Tampa Bay. But at the end of the day, the conference overall is trash. It's a trash conference, and there's no quality teams in this conference. And your best team only has 8 wins. I think. Yeah. Your best team only has 8 wins. You're 8-9. So whoever end up winning this division is gonna win the division at 8-9. I mean 7-9. I think. Am I right? 8? Is it 8-9? Yeah, 8-9. Because Carolina had 8 wins. Yeah, so 8-9. And I'm not so sure, man. Even with this, let's say the Saints pull out the upset. I think for the Bucs to get in, Falcons have to win. But if the Saints pull the upset, Carolina get in. I don't even know how that is all possible. I need to look at the conference standings, man, and see how that tiebreaker even works, because I'm not so sure. They explained it, but I still don't understand it. How so? Let's see here. All right, so we're gonna go here, and I'm gonna share this screen so everybody can see. So everybody can see this. So everybody can see this. So I'm gonna share this screen. Okay. Everybody see that. All right. So if you got the standings right here, these the conference standings. Right now, since the Bucs win, they're 8-9. Wins the tiebreaker over Carolina based on best win percentage in common games. But if the Falcons win, the Bucs get in. If the Saints win, the Panthers get in. It's the craziest thing ever, man. So conference record. Carolina is 6-6 in the conference. Falcons are 6-5 in the conference. Buccaneers are 6-6. This thing is weird. Man. I need to find out how this tiebreaker scenario works. See, right now I'm looking at it for myself, and I still don't understand it. So let's do something else here. I'm gonna drop this screen. While I oh snap. Hold on. We got a couple. Oh, we got William Graves waiting. All right, so let's get him in here. All right, we got my man William Graves in here. Well, he's not in here anymore. So let me see. I need to figure out this tiebreaker scenario. So I'm gonna drop this screen while I figure out the playoff scenario. So we got William Graves in the car with us right now. My man is driving. Be safe, my brother.
Oh, for sure. I literally have you on one of my cup holders and everything and all that. So can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. So until you're able to talk, I'm gonna kill your video feed so we're not staring at
my floorboard? Yeah, that's fine.
your floorboard. So we're just gonna get his voice for now. We'll bring him back. So we just got his audio going right now. But
So Debo, me and you gotta have a
yeah.
conversation, my man. Because
we do. But before we have this conversation, I need to find out this NFC South tiebreaker because I still don't.
okay, so the way that I'm understanding it is that if the Saints win tomorrow, we in the playoffs.
Yeah, but okay, so the Saints have to win.
Yes, the Saints have to beat the Falcons tomorrow.
That's not happening, bro. I'm sorry. The Saints been playing better. They've been playing better as of late, but
Yeah.
the Falcons beat them handily. When they played the Saints early in the season.
Yeah, they sure did. So,
And I don't know if Kirk Cousins wasn't playing the first game they had against the Saints.
well,
So
I'm going to be honest with you. You know how much of a fan of Kirk Cousins I was, or am. But like the dude, always have. But, bro, to me, on the Falcons team, Kirk Cousins is not that guy. I'm sorry, but he's not.
well, he may not be that guy anymore, but he's good enough to beat the Saints.
Well,
I mean, I'm not saying Kirk Cousins is championship material, but it's the New Orleans Saints. It's not, they're not playing the Patriots, they're not playing the 49ers or the Seahawks.
no.
It's the Saints.
Well, and I understand that.
And the Falcons have a more talented roster, especially on the offensive side of the ball, than the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, that is undisputed.
So that's what I'm looking at. The Falcons, the Saints got to stop the Falcons offense. And I have less.
That's not happening, Debo. That is not happening.
That's what I'm saying. The Falcons offense is going to move the ball on the Saints. They're going to move the ball on the Saints.
Well, I'll put it to you this way: if the Falcons do not move the ball on the Saints, then they need to reevaluate. They need to reevaluate their offense because, bro, the Saints ain't got nobody on that defensive side.
So here's the tiebreaker scenario. I'm gonna go back and pull this screen back up so we can see it. All right. So here is the playoff scenario. It says the Falcons could join the Bucs because they're 7-9. So if the Falcons win, that would put them at the top of the standings at 8-9 with the Panthers and the Bucs.
Yep.
So with that, with three teams tied at 8-9, the first tiebreaker when there are three teams tied head-to-head according to the three teams, Tampa Bay wins over the Panthers. The Bucs are now 2-2 in games among the three teams, 1-1 versus the Panthers, 1-1 versus Atlanta. Carolina is now 3-1, having swept Atlanta and split the season series with the Bucs. Atlanta is 1-3. So while Tampa Bay beat the Panthers today, if Atlanta beats New Orleans and improve their record to 8-9, that would trigger the three-way tiebreaker above, and the Panthers would be the division champions.
Right.
So, however, if the Saints win or tie, that means the Falcons finish the season at 7-10 or 9-7-1 record. That would leave the Buccaneers and the Panthers tied at top of the division with 8-9 records, having split the season series And the second tiebreaker between the two teams is division record. Tampa Bay win pulled the Buccaneers even with the Panthers. So now there's a third tiebreaker. And the third tiebreaker is record in common games, and the Tampa Bay has already clinched that tiebreaker over the Panthers. So provided the Saints win tomorrow, the Bucs are headed to the playoffs. Now, here's the Panthers playoff picture. This the part that me confused. Despite losing, the Panthers can still clinch the South. If the Falcons defeat the Saints, that creates the three-way tie. The first tiebreaker is head-to-head, and Carolina swept the Falcons.
Right.
So with the combined record split against Tampa Bay, they got a 3-1 in those coming games, and Tampa Bay is 2-2. Atlanta is 1-3. So then that would take the Panthers to the playoffs, and all they need is the Falcons to win. So you see, the scenario for the Panthers is a lot more simpler than the Bucs, because I just don't feel like the Saints are gonna win. I just don't feel like the Saints are gonna win, bro.
Bro, Saints, the Saints are not up to that challenge. They're not. And I'm gonna say something, and it's gonna be unpopular. It really is. At the state that we are in right now, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if we didn't make the playoffs, I can't say that I would be that upset.
Well, I mean, I don't think we deserve, anybody in our division deserve to be in the playoffs, but somebody has to go because the division winner has to go. Now, this might trigger another argument about seeding, reseeding the playoffs after everybody clinches, because there's no way we deserve to be playing at home. I don't care that we won a division. I don't care. You can't get a home game with a losing record. I'm sorry, man. Reseed this thing, go from best record from top to bottom, and the top 4 teams or the top 3 teams in the wild card weekend gets the home game. The best record gets the home game. It's in every other sport. That is how it works.
Right.
That is how it works.
Yep.
So why can't we have that scenario? Look, I'm a Bucs fan, and I'm vouching for this because I don't feel like it's not fair to the better team. The better team should not have to go play on the road in the playoffs. You should be playing at home. So whoever it is that we got to play, they finna come here and they finna beat our brakes off at home. And I'd rather us go on the road and get blown out. I don't want us to be playing at home and get the crap beat out of us because we're just not as good as everybody else.
Well,
so I think we'll be playing like the Vikings or something like that. Oh, let me see. 4 against 5, right? That's the way it would go.
It would either be Green Bay or whichever team loses the game tonight between Seattle and San Francisco.
Okay, so if Seattle win, we playing the 49ers. It's not a good matchup.
No,
I mean, Seattle early in the season, we did some good things in that game, but that was a shootout. We ain't that team right now. We're not that team that winning right now.
No.
But the 49ers, that is not the matchup. That is not that is not the matchup we want to have.
But man, dude, look.
I'd rather play Seattle. 49ers are just, 49ers are 12-4. Let's look at that. 49ers are 12-4. And Brock Purdy just came back literally 5 weeks ago. He missed the whole season.
Yep.
And since he's been back, they've been a completely different team.
Well,
I don't want to play San Francisco if it comes down to us being the team to get in. No.
Man, look.
It don't matter.
You know what? It ain't even the 49ers' offense that I'm worried about.
No, it's the defense.
Exactly.
Look, I'm watching this game right now. And 49ers, just like everybody else, they have injuries that they have overcome all season long. The quarterback was out. They were doing it with Matt Jones all season. Then they lost the best middle linebacker in the league. Tore his Achilles. They put in the reserve guy. He out there thumping. They defense ain't missed a step.
But see, Debo, and this is something that me and you were talking about on the last show and all that. If you look at that 49ers defense, if you look at it, bro, it may not be just like, but it's pretty close to that next man up Tampa Bay Buccaneer defense that we had back in the early 2000s. Because if you remember, we had injuries too back then, but it was next man up. And did we miss a beat? No, we did not.
No. I mean, like we said, it made sense. Oh, good play. It made sense with John Lynch there as a GM. That's the mentality that like your organization is it starts at the top, man. It starts at the top and it works its way downhill. Everything flows downhill. So if the mindset is right at the top of the organization, then everything else is going to fall right in line with what it should be. And San Francisco has had this formula. It's crazy, but John Lynch has been out there for 10 years. And since he's shown up out there, San Francisco has been a near elite at that elite level. From an organization standpoint, the on-field play, drafting, scouting, free agency,
Let me ask you something, Debo. Do you remember when we found out that John Lynch was the general manager of the San Francisco 49ers?
Man, that's so long ago. I don't remember that conversation, but I'm sure we was. I'm sure we probably said some things like, "Man, we could use John Lynch."
Yep.
I mean, if we knew John Lynch was interested in the GM job,
bro.
How long Jason Light been here?
Jason Light,
7 years?
No, 10 years, something like that.
Oh, you're right, Lovie Smith. Yep. Lovie Smith. I mean, Jameis was drafted 2015. Okay, so 11 years. And we still got the same problems. We still had the same problems we had.
Yeah, but see, this is my thing. This is why when everybody is automatically on that Fire Bowls thing and all that, okay, well, we can be on that Fire Bowls train. But you all also need to be on that Fire Jason Light train because it starts at the top. Okay.
Yeah, it do. And you can fire the coach all day long, but if you still got the guy at the top that's been making the draft picks and handling the contracts from a free agency standpoint, overpaying players that ain't worth it, and doing all that stuff. Listen, the head coach has some say in the guys that he bring in, but at the same time, the GM has to say too. If it's a true partnership, they both got to say. So you can't just pin the roster on the head coach.
That is why I say that if you're going to be on that Fire Bulls train, you got to be on that Fire Jason Light train too, because look, that, like you just got done saying, we still have the same problems that we had when Jason Light first got here, and
Yeah.
we've been saying this front ways, back ways, sideways, all around. That the only reason Jason Light's still here is because he put in a call to Tom Brady and somehow convinced Tom Brady to come to Tampa, and we got a
Yeah.
Super Bowl. That's it.
Yeah.
That
I believe that. I mean, I believe that 100%. Brady saved a lot of people jobs, when he came here.
I mean, it
It
went.
is, and people can deny all day long. You can hate the comment that we're making, but what were we before Brady got here? We were average to below average franchise that wasn't even making the playoffs. We weren't making the playoffs. We didn't make not one single playoff run with Jameis here before
No,
Brady.
no, no. I thought we were in the playoffs one time with Jameis.
No, we didn't touch the playoffs. Hold on, let me look at this. Buccaneers. Let's see. When was the last time they made the playoffs? Prior to Brady. Last time made playoffs. Bro, I probably was freaking Jeff Garcia.
Oh, what?
I'm
Ooh,
finna look at it. Prior to Brady. Yes, Jeff Garcia, 2007. Dog, I knew it. I knew it.
oh
I told
no.
you. I
Oh,
told you.
oh,
Hey, listen.
oh
You
man.
talking I'm finna put it up here on the screen so everybody can see that I hit it dead on the head. 2007.
Man.
Yeah, because Garcia played from 2007. I want to say 2009. When Gruden got fired was Brian Greasy. This is how good my memory is. So
Ooh, bro.
let's see
You
box
ain't
score.
you ain't gonna believe this, but I completely forgot Jeff Garcia was on our team.
Okay, let's see. Yep, Jeff Garcia, quarterback. He threw for 207 yards, one touchdown, and an interception. We had Ernest Graham was our starting running back.
Oh, okay,
We
okay,
lost to the Giants.
man,
So
man.
2009. Let's look at that. 2009. Uh, I'm gonna put it back up here on the screen so everybody can see the brilliance that I have here. 2009. I already said. 2007. Jeff Garcia was a quarterback. You can see it right there. Where the highlighted right there, Jeff Garcia. 2009 was John Gruden last season. That's 2007. I mean 2008 with 9-7. Jeff Garcia still our quarterback. And then 2009, here we go. 2009 passing. Oh no, that's not right. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at it backwards. So 2009, it was 2008 that was Gruden last season. 2008, 2009 season. 2009 season, 2010 season was the first season that Raheem Morris was here with Josh Freeman. And then, but Brian Greasy in the 2008 season played a significant number of snaps because Garcia got hurt. And John Gruden loved he loved Brian Greasy. So by the end of the season, Brian Greasy had became the starting quarterback. And then the shocker, That was one of the most shocking off seasons for us as Bucs fans dealing with the Glazers because we had no idea that John Gruden was going to get fired. He was 9-7. We started out 9-3. We lost the last 4 games. Finished at 9-7. We go into the off season like, okay, we got some stuff we got to work on in the off season, and we'll be back next season. There was no rumors. There was no speculation.
Nope.
There was nothing about John Gruden being fired. So out of the blue, this wasn't even Black Monday. I think it was like it might have been even like after the draft, or maybe like later on in March. It was before the draft, but it was March.
Definitely later. It was definitely later in the season.
And this is after the Glazers hadn't already had their off season, meetings with the coaches, and they hadn't already, talked with Gruden and everything like that. So we thinking everything good, and then out of the blue, bam, Glazers fired John Gruden, and we was like, what?
Yep. The only other situation that I can even compare to that is when they fired Lovie Smith.
Yeah, hey, listen. I'ma always stick up for Lovie Smith when it comes down to the way he was handled by the Glazers. That was dirty because a lot of people don't know this. Like here at the Rat Pack, we do a lot of research on stuff. We do a lot of reading. William do his has his sources where he would go to. I got my sources, left field correspondent, Nicholas Lane. Like we all do our homework. We can't pick up the phone and call people, so we just have to do our homework. But with the Lovie Smith situation, we knew when Lovie Smith first got this job here with the Bucs what the purpose was. And they had just drafted Jameis.
Yep.
So the plan was the first, I want to say 3 seasons of Lovie's tenure, his job was to build the offense and surround Jameis Winston with the players needed. And then after that third offseason was when we would start addressing the defense. So while everybody's sitting up here, they dog cursing Lovie Smith for the defense not being good, and we don't have the players and stuff like that. That was part of the plan. The Glazers knew it. Everybody else knew it. Lovie Smith knew it. Jason Licht knew it. Shoot, Dirk Cutter knew it. I mean, everybody knew this. This was part of the plan. So we get to the third offseason, and Dirk Cutter gets interest from the Miami Dolphins. And because Jameis Winston had for his first 3 years was pretty good for a young quarterback. He threw a lot of interceptions, as he did his whole time here. But his first 3 seasons, while throwing a lot of interceptions, the dude was putting up numbers, yards, touchdowns. I mean, he was playing the position. He just turned the ball over too much. So the Glazers got cold feet. They froze up in the final hour. They froze up.
No. They did not freeze up. Hold on.
I said they froze up.
No.
They froze up because they went against what the plan was.
No, they got scared. Debo calling for what it was. They got scared.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. That's what I mean when I say they froze up. They got scared because they got scared and froze up because they thought losing Dirk Cutter would set Jameis Winston back. So instead of instead of letting Dirk Cutter go and allowing Lovie Smith to go out, find another offensive coordinator, and then build his defense. The offense was already put together. We had weapons. The offense was already put together. We had one of the better.
Hold on. What you mean go out and find another offensive coordinator? He didn't even really need to. He had one of the greatest offensive
Well, I
minds
mean, of course he
sitting
did,
there as
but
a consultant.
he's still here. He's still here.
Oh, is he?
Tom Moore is
Okay.
still here. He's still here.
Okay. Listeners, I'm sorry. We need to clarify. We are referring to the great Tom Moore. This man is probably responsible for more successful quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah, he's still here. Matter of fact, a couple weeks ago, they showed him down on the sideline talking. I think it was with Baker Mayfield or somebody, but he was on the sideline a couple weeks ago. He's still here, man. But yeah, so you had that guy then. So yeah, you could. That was a while ago, so he was still young enough and to be able to do it. You could have just easily moved that guy over and gave him the offensive coordinator role and kept an experienced head coach here in Lovie Smith knew how to manage a team. But they decided to get rid of Lovie and then bring Dirk Cutter in, and Dirk Cutter was lost. He didn't know what he was doing, bro.
No.
They should have let him go to Miami.
Yes, they should have. Because here's the thing. And look, I'm not trying to back on Dirk Cutter. I'm just calling it as I see it. You go back and you look at the offenses that this man inherited, and then you look at how the offenses were when he left.
But William,
this man was not that offensive guru that everybody painted him to be, and I said that.
We all said that. We all said that, bro. We all called it when they gave him the job because we do our homework. We knew this guy wasn't as good as he was being led on to be. Of course, when you got good players, your offense is going to be decent. But I mean, come on, man. But we getting way off base. But ladies and gentlemen, for y'all listening, just know we do our homework. So we're going back in the freaking archives talking about stuff that a lot of people probably them forgot about. But all this stuff, all this history and everything we're talking about is tied into right now because it all led us to this point right here.
Well, yeah, because it was the same general manager.
It's the same GM. We timed because from the beginning of Lovie Smith era to today, there's one common denominator in all this. We done had different head coaches. We done had coaches come and go. We done had different personnel, and it still looked the same. Well, the one person that's the mainstay, and I ain't even gonna put Todd Bowles in that conversation because he came in as a defensive coordinator. He just got the head coaching gig. So the one mainstay at that position is Jason Light. So if we gonna get rid of somebody, then we need to start there. Like I was talking to this guy in the Bucs group, and he's got a YouTube podcast, and me and him, he pretty much came in and was just talking about Jason Light, him as a GM, what he's done as a GM. And a lot of people was like defending Jason Light. So I came in the post, and our conversation about Jason Light. So I came in the post and I pretty much backed him up in what he was saying, about Jason Light. And basically what we're saying right now was the same stuff I was saying in the thread. So he responded back. He say, "Hey man, I I really like, the way you talking. You're a smart guy. You know what you're talking about. You understand football. And he invited me, onto his YouTube show. So we're gonna make that happen because you know people need to understand. Like if you're new to listening to us, then you would have to go back 8, 9, 10 years. Because we've been on the air that long. We was on the air when Lovie Smith first got the job and Jason Light first got the job. You would have had to been listening to us all the way back then to know what we're talking about right now. We're not making none of this up. We was calling this stuff back then. Like all of this stuff,
we
rosters,
have
the way we draft, free agency, how we attack free agency. Somebody tried to say in the post, that well, the salary cap situation it is what it is. You have to take it for what it's worth and deal with it. I said, well, yeah, but you put yourself in that salary cap situation. So
we
at the
we
end of
we
the day, when you know,
we, we sold out for that Super Bowl win. That is what we did.
yeah,
Like, okay, and
yeah,
ain't nobody disputed that. But this is listeners. This is what we are saying. Yes, we win all Madden football and everything like that. Uh, Bringing in all the best players, all the big names for that Super Bowl win. Yes, we did. Okay, but here is the thing. In 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 this year, that salary cap issue that we've had for the last couple of years, it it ain't an issue no more. Brady's been paid, Gronk's been paid, Brown's been paid, uh, playoff Whitney been paid, uh, Sue been paid. Everybody that we put on these Bobby Bonilla type contracts, that's over. That started getting over here 1 or 2 years ago. Salary cap ain't the issue. The
all right,
issue is the issue is that we have a man as the general manager that benefited from being in the right place at the right time. And yes, I'm talking about Jason Light because here's the thing. The only reason Jason Light got this job is because he happened to be a part of the Patriots organization when they went on that tear where every year they was in the Super Bowl. So of course he was in the front office. Oh, you
yeah. But
front office.
before we got him here, I think he was over in Arizona at that time.
Oh,
He was over in Arizona at the time when we got him. When they made that run
yep,
with Carson Palmer,
yep,
and they had Anquan Bolden and Larry Fitzgerald, and they
yep.
had a pretty decent roster then. But he wasn't a GM over there. He was just in the front office position, and he elevated to GM when he came here to the Bucs.
Yes.
So, now this is the first time he's had a GM role since 2014. I'm gonna pull it up here on the screen because I'm on the Over the Cap website, and we're gonna go into this a little bit. So right now, 2026, I guess it will be this coming off season.
Yeah.
But if we go to 2025, we had $15 million in cap space after last season.
Uh-huh.
This coming
Now,
up this week, that means we got money. 15 million is a lot of money. You can break it
okay.
up and divvy it
So and
however you want.
so now Now, Derek, I want to ask you another question. We have this money that's sitting there doing nothing. Why didn't we spend it? Why did we not spend it?
I don't know. You asking the wrong person, bro. I don't know. I don't know. So
Man,
okay. So um, 2026. After this season, we'll have $36 million in cap space. We'll come off of contracts. It's saying here. Let's see. Hassan Reddick.
man, he can keep on walking down the road.
I think he'll be gone. He's only on the
He,
1 year deal,
he can keep on
and
walking
this is
down
his last year. So he'll be gone. So that money will come out the books. Obviously Levante David is on a 1 year deal. He's only making $4 million. His cap number is 9 because he got the prorated signing bonus of
Yeah,
7.5.
well,
So his
honestly,
contract will come off. Maybe he'll retire. But again, this was another discussion I had in the group about Levante David. And y'all can disagree with me if you want to, but at the end of the day, this is what it is. Look on that defense. Tell me who else on that defense is playing good football outside of Vita Vea and possibly what's the cornerback? We brought him up last week.
Dean.
No, Dean, but it's another one. He's a safety. Tyke Smith.
Okay.
Outside of them, who else is having a good season around there on the defense? Nobody. You got a veteran that's 12 years in the league, still has juice left, but he ain't at the stage of his career where he could make up for everybody else's mistakes. What the rest of your linebacker core doing?
Not
Because I saw a play today, and when the footage comes out from the all 22, we'll do another podcast breaking this footage down, because this play here showed exactly why everybody want to look at Levante David, because he's the most notable person on that defense outside of Vita Vea. But this is the touchdown drive that the Carolina Panthers had, and they ran a bootleg, play action bootleg. But doing the bootleg, they drug the tight end across the backside. Well, I think it was, who's number 8? It's Dennis. What's his name? Savasier Dennis. Is that his name? I think that is his name. Dennis. So they run the play action. Dennis bites on the play action. And because he bit on the play action, the linebackers are supposed to drop into coverage to take away the middle of the field. Dennis is the outside linebacker. He cannot get sucked in on this play. He got sucked up on the play, and because of that, the tight end drug behind David, wide open. So when he catches the ball, guess who's the closest man to him, but it ain't really his responsibility? David. So he turns around. He turns around, and he is looking for the linebacker. Not even joking. When I saw it on TV, I said somebody messed up, because David was basically turned his head and looked when he caught the ball, and he was so far away from him, it wasn't even no point in him trying to chase him down. But that linebacker over there is supposed to be there. And he wasn't because he got played on the play action. This is the type of stuff that's been going on all season long. And we looking at David. Oh, David done lost a step. Oh, he washed up. He this, he that. Man, look at what these dudes doing around him. They're not good. They are not good. And again, this goes all the way back. This goes all the way back to our GM and what he has done in the whole scouting department. All of them, the whole scouting department, GMs, scouting coordinators, whatever their title is in the recruiting and scouting department, all of them need to go. Except for Shelton Coors. I like Shelton Coors. And make him the GM. Make him the GM. But everybody else, man, they need to go. They need to go because this is their fault. Like, I just pulled it up right here, man. I just pulled it up right here. Look at this. Look at it. Look at it. I'm gonna blow this screen up. I'm gonna go small screen. All right. So here we go. Let's look. Cap space. With that 2025, we have 15 million in cap. I don't know what it don't really have dead cap, but we got $15 million in cap space, so we had money to be able to do something, right? Okay, here we go. Dead money. Look at all this dead money we have here. Ryan Jensen, $11 million. Shaq Barrett, he's been gone a while. We still paying that guy. Remember that bad contract? Dude, I'm not even going to say I told you. And I wish I had the time to go back and find the tape. Well, I called Shaq Barrett. Whole situation. Yeah, he had a great season. But that was one season. He's never played at that level in his whole career. That's one season. You don't give somebody that kind of money off of one season with no track record. Okay, you sign him, you franchise him, and you tell him to do it again. And if he can do it again, then you give him that. Maybe. But he got that money, and then he disappeared. He didn't do nothing. But they still paying him $17 million. Ryan Jensen retired after last season, $11 million. You got Anthony Nelson, $2 million. Kyle Trask is $1 million in cap money. You know? So you got a lot of dead money here too. $42 million in dead money. I mean, that'll go down a little bit, but we don't have salary cap issues to why we can't sign anybody. I am showing you. There it is right there. 15 million. You know? I'm showing you that. And then next season, look, 36 million. And that's before, obviously, in next season, it's, we get a little bit more money, but not really, because we lose some contracts. We're gonna have to re-sign some people. But Baker Mayfield next season is gonna cost us $38 million. Antoine Winfield, these are gonna have to be restructured, bro. Winfield, 36. Chris Godwin is gonna cost us 33 million next season, because he has a prorated signing bonus that's gonna hit. That now this season he done had he's counting $1 million against the cap. He's got a $20 million bonus. You see how they messed around with the numbers this season. You know? Chris Godwin's salary for this season was 1.2 million. He's got a $12 million cap number. Vita Vea is 22 million on the cap. Mike Evans is 25 million on the cap. This season. Baker Mayfield 26. Now, if we go to next season, everything flips. You know, Evans dropped to 13. I don't know what that is. Base salary void, but he got a $4 million, prorated bonus. And then he gets a $1,000 per game roster bonus. Oh, that's Vita Vea. But Evans, Baker Mayfield is 38, Evans is 13, Vita Vea is 32, 33 for Godwin, 36 for Wirfs, 27 for Winfield, and this is 22 for Luke Gedeke. Zion McCollum is 15 million on the cap number. What is Zion McCollum doing? I don't know. You couldn't even tell me. I mean, he's hurt right now. So, Yaya Diaby, 1.7. So it's like, and this, if this is all dead money and cap if we cut them before June, but we're gonna have a situation, next season where we might actually be in some cap problem. Now, Jason Light will probably go and he'll probably do some things and wiggle the cap around like he normally does to free up some cap money and do some prorated bonuses and stuff like that. But our point is, it's the same man that's going to be making the calls and doing all this stuff that has done this for the last, since 2014. So now he's going into a 12th year. What do you expect to be different? What do you expect to be different? I don't expect a whole much. Like, here at the Rat Pack, man, to be honest with you, bro, we've been calling this stuff, man. I hate to sound like, arrogant and stuff, but we've been calling this stuff for years. We've been calling this stuff for years, man. And a lot of fans, they don't like it because, we're diehard Bucs fans, but we can be honest and open about, our team. And because of that, people don't like, I guess people don't like honesty. So I want to talk a little bit about this game, and then we're gonna get out of here, and I'm gonna close this down, and then I'll post the segment up, and replay it on the station at a later time and get some clips up for everybody. But overall, a win is a win, but it was sloppy football. And you can see clearly why both teams are below 500. And, both teams are fighting below 500 to get into the playoffs and win the division. You can clearly see that. So, I'm not too stoked and excited. If they get in, they get in, because I don't feel like we really have a true chance to do any damage or do anything once we get into the playoffs. So we got holes we got to address. We got to address the pass rush. Again, it's Carolina, but it was a lot of times where we was blitzing and we was bringing pressure on the quarterback off the blitz, but we wasn't getting to him. I mean, you bring a full blitz late in the game, and this is the indication of your players just not playing smart. And people want to get mad at Todd Bowles when he came out in the conference and he went off on the team because No, you got to do your job. So, 21, whoever he is, it was on the drive where Carolina started moving the ball, and they brought pressure, disguised the blitz. They brought some pressure, but the quarterback got to get rid of the ball fast. You don't want to go give up anything over the top. So you bring a zone blitz. And at first it looked like a full blitz man to man, but then when the ball was snapped, David dropped back into coverage and the linebackers pretty much in the deep thirds. You don't want to get nothing behind you. I think this is right before the half. Nothing behind you, man. Nothing. Well, the cornerback bites on the double move. And I don't know where the safety was at, but the cornerback bite on the double move. The man split the cornerback and the safety, takes off of Phil. Bryce Young puts a dart on him. Now, he threw a great pass, but why did he get behind you? Like, you can't go for the double move. You can't go for the double move. The last thing you want to do is give up something behind you. Let them catch the ball underneath, and then you go make the tackle. That's how you play defense, man. I'm 47 years old, and if I had, I can sit here all day long and talk it, but I know what I'm talking about. Like, certain defenses are designed for them to catch the ball underneath. You let them catch the ball underneath, and then you go make the tackle. In that situation, the ball coming out quick. You sit on the sticks. You let him make his move, and then if he go upfield, you on his back. There's no reason to go for a double move at that point. You're reading the defense. You're reading the quarterback eyes, and the pressure got to come fast. He only has 3 seconds to get the ball out of his hands, or it's a sack. So he gives up the move. They throw the ball over his head, and he gives up a deep play. And this is stuff, again, all season long that we've been dealing with. Because of our injuries, we don't have the depth. And these are young players, so these are guys that you drafted that has to step in and has to play, and they're not getting the job done. Now, you look around the league, you got this game right here. San Francisco and Seattle. Look at their roster and see how many people was drafted from their roster. Like the players that are really contributing to the team. These are guys they all drafted and developed, man. Green Bay Packers got one of the deepest teams in the league. That team was built through the draft. The Colts, the Indianapolis Colts, again, another team through the draft. Jacksonville Jaguars through the draft. I mean, free agents are supposed to be guys that you bring in to fill holes to get you to that next level. If you ain't at that next level, there's no point in spending money on a big time free agent if he ain't gonna put you at that next level. So you draft and you develop, and then you re-sign what you drafted and you develop, and then you go to free agency and you bring in free agencies to combine with what you drafted and you develop. You cannot draft and you cannot develop and then go to free agency to fulfill your roster. You'll never have depth. You'll never be good because it's backwards. And that's the situation we have here in Tampa, man. We're only as deep as our starter. We're only as deep as our starter. And after that starter, leaves the game, man, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. We have no depth. So I don't know, man. We'll see where we go from here. Obviously, tomorrow we gotta sit, we gotta wait and see what happens. If the Saints win, we got a chance. We in. I just don't see them beat the Falcons. So Falcons win, we done. That's how I read it, right? Saints have to win or tie for the Bucs to get in. The Falcons win, Carolina in, Bucs are out. So we got to root for the Saints tomorrow. That's not. I just don't see it happening, man. I mean, anything can happen any given Sunday, but from what I've seen throughout the course of this season, nothing tells me that the Saints are going to come out and win this game. I mean, Falcons ain't nothing in it for the Falcons because they're already eliminated, but I think they'll probably get a better kick out of eliminating the Bucs than the Carolina Panthers. And no matter who you are, what situation you're in, you want to end the season with a dub. You want to end the season with a dub, so that momentum goes into the offseason, and then you got something to build on, going into next season. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But we'll see, man. All in all, the game was what I expected. The game looked exactly like I expected it between two teams that's going to finish below 500. Two teams struggling on offense, and I know the weather played a part, but when good teams, when it's raining like this, you're going to see a different style of football being played when it's wet and raining. You don't keep trying to play the same style of football you've been playing all season on dry fields and on wet fields. You have to switch it up. That is a lack of experience on the offensive coordinator side. Now, there are some plays, before I get out of here, as a Bucs fan, listen, yeah, we benefited from it, but the Panthers got hosed on a couple calls, man. They got hosed on a couple calls. The pass interference, they got hosed on that. That was not a pass interference. The taunting penalty that was called on the Carolina Panthers from Baker Mayfield, talking his trash like he do when he make a play on his feet and jumping in the man's face. And they gave the Carolina Panthers defender a penalty for taunting. But when Baker Mayfield making his runs, he getting up, he excited, he pumped up, and he jumping in the defender places, and he, button helmets and talking that trash. No flag. But he do the same thing after one of his plays to another one of Carolina defenders, and they flagged Carolina for the unsportsmanlike conduct. I thought that was a bad call at that time of the game. The pass interference on Carolina, that was a bad call. I feel like that was a bad call. And there was one more call. There was one more call that they messed up on. Oh, the backwards pass that they called an incomplete pass, and then when the referee got on the intercom system, they said the whistle was blown dead because the ball was thrown out of bounds. The ball never was thrown out of bounds. The man literally picked the ball up as soon as it hit the ground and had real estate in front of him. And they blew the whistle dead. And that was a big play, man, that stopped Carolina. I mean, they could have made a big play off of that. Even though he threw it in the dirt, it was a backwards pass. The play should have been live. The running back should have been able to pick the ball up and run with it. Why did you throw the ball Why did you blow the whistle dead? You didn't even say. Well, they did say it was a backwards pass thrown out of bounds. What official saw that play and said, "Oh, the ball was thrown out of bounds. Let's blow this play dead"? Who? Who? And that's something that's not reviewable, obviously. But they had to take a loss on that play. Like they didn't go back and review it because the pass was backwards and they blew the whistle dead right there. They took a loss. Right, you can't have that stuff in the NFL game, right? In today's game with all the camera angles and everything, man, you cannot let that happen. Like, you cannot let that happen. And they did. Carolina was on the bad side of a lot of bad calls. I don't think it changes the game, but it definitely had an impact because a few of those calls that went in the Bucs' favor, Carolina had opportunity, and just didn't get it. So the officiating definitely, has been a subject all season long, and it's got to get better, man. It's got to get better. It has to get better. Now, that officiating crew can't be in the playoffs. You got to get your stuff revoked for that. You can't be in the playoffs. But I'm starting to yawn, and I've been on here like 40 minutes too long. I was only supposed to be on here for like 45 minutes, and I ended up being on here a lot longer. I just want to give my synopsis of the game and talk about some stuff real quick. We'll be back. We may even jump back on here tomorrow night, doing the Sunday night game, and go over. By that time, I should have had the clips up and ready to where I could go and kind of break down some plays, from the game, and then we'll work it like that. So with that being said, man, we gonna get out of here. Let me see. All right. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so we're gonna get out of here, man, because it's getting a little bit late, and I just want to, kind of relax and watch a couple of these, watch the rest of this game here. So, with that being said, I'm your boy Debo, the chosen one. My man William Graves had to go. He was having connection issues. Boss Hog Sean Naylor would have called in, but he was driving home from Vegas. And I'm not going to spill the beans. We'll just wait for my guy to come on and give us the good news here on the show. My man Nicholas Lane is traveling himself, left field correspondent. As always, love my guy, Queen of the Rat Pack Terror. Hey, from us all here at the Rat Pack, we want to wish everybody a happy New Year and hope that, whatever your New Year's resolution is, you achieve all your goals and supersede, everything that you want to do this year. And for us here at the Rat Pack, our New Year goals is just continue on bringing y'all the best days in sports, talk, and entertainment from a bunch of amateurs that don't have, really anything going on. Just some sports nerds. So, with that being said, man, I'm going to get on up out of here. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Hey, be on the lookout for the live shows. This will be replayed because this is a pre-recorded anyway. So we'll replay this. On the replay, if you got any comments, just make your comments. Shoot us some comments. Hit us up, message us on Facebook, Rat Pack Sports Show. You can find us on Twitter at Rat Pack Sports. You can find us on Instagram, Rat Pack Sports, and obviously a Facebook group and a like page, Rat Pack Sports Show, and also like the Rat Pack Radio WRPR page as well, man. We're gonna get on up out of here, man. I'm Debo. I will catch y'all on the flip side. I'm out of here, man. Peace.